Join me as you hear my story about the second recall for a gas leak on a Grand Design coach. Back in May of 2022 was the first recall, and at that point in time, they suggested I go to a rally. And when I was at the rally, they would take a look at it and fix it. They acknowledged that my RV was one of the ones being recalled. So I took it to the rally, and they inspected it. They looked at a couple other little things, and they squirted some soapy water on it and told me I didn't have a problem and sent me on my way. You know, at the time, I really didn't think that was a proper way to do it. And let me tell you why. You spray soapy water on it, you get bubbles. If you get bubbles, you got a leak. But why do you have a leak? Number one, it could be a pressure regulator. Number two, it could just be a loose fitting. Number three, it could be a defective fitting. Or it could be a bad hose. You know, there's lots of options. So I asked the Grand Design service team, I said, what are you going to do if it's leaking? And they said, we just deal with it. I said, oh, okay. Well, now, 2.5 years later, we get another recall for the same issue. It's very, very frustrating. And I don't know what needs to be done in the industry to stop these type of recalls from happening. It's a quality issue. That's all it is. Just quality. If they would put them together and inspect them right, if they would do the PDI inspections correctly at the factory, if they do the PDI inspections at the dealer, these things wouldn't slip through. Now I realize this is a defective part, but still, why do I have to go to the dealer to get a defective part replaced? In my case, it's an hour down the road. So I got to drive there for an hour, drop it off, drive home, and then when they call me and say it's fixed, I got to drive back down there an hour, pick it up, and drive it home. That's 4 hours of drive time. And probably by the time I get the trailer hooked up and towed down there, we're probably talking about 5-6 hours of time and money for fuel, probably over a $15 or $20 part. It just doesn't make sense. They need to come up with a better way of fixing warranted parts or warranted issues. Mobile techs, pay a local guy to go out and fix it. Your service technicians that Grand Design has that travel around the country and fix things, have them schedule a time with you to fix it. Especially when it's such an inconvenience to people like myself who are over an hour away or an hour away from a dealer to get it in there and get it fixed. Now, I've had other problems with my coach in the past. I had a collapsed duct, and you know what? They fixed it. It took them about 4 months, but they did fix it under warranty, and I took it in after the season, and I really didn't care how long it took. Well, I did care, but I wasn't expecting it to be 4 months. But this is a safety issue. The NTSB are the one that issued this recall, and it's a mandatory recall that they gave to Grand Design. If it hadn't been for the NTSB, I'm sure they wouldn't have fixed it. They would have just kept their mouth shut, and when you brought it in, they would have looked at it, and then into a dealer, they probably would have looked at it, and they would have fixed it, and not even told you about it. But I'm not sure that's the right way to do things. The bottom line is we have over 30,000 RVs that are under this recall for a second time. Twice for the same issue. That just does not seem right. If they would have done it right the first time, I wouldn't be making this video. So I think that's going to wrap it up. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more stories like this, please subscribe to my channel. And till we meet around the campfire, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.